Hello everybody, welcome back to Mike's Magic Auto Detailing and Paint Enhancement and motorcycles sometimes. welcome back everybody. Now looky there, man, what is that big yellow thing up in the sky casting light everywhere? Haven't seen that in a while. Well, as you noticed, I've pulled Sally out into the driveway so that I could reposition my motorcycle so I could get to that side of it a little easier because it was all the way over there. Also notice, if you will, the paddock stands that I ordered. Man, those things are very, very handy. You can lift both ends of the motorcycle up, get the wheels and tires off of the ground. Does a really good job. It's a little cockeyed right now because it leans to one side and it really needs to be straight up and down when you put those under it. But since I'm here by myself, I can't hold the motorcycle straight because it's relatively heavy while I get those in exactly the right position. But this is okay and very, very reasonable. If you have a motorcycle and you would like to build and it doesn't have a center stand like that one does not, and you can't get the wheels up off the ground, just to do simple maintenance stuff. You can, do a lot of things with the wheels off the ground, but I'll show you the box that came in. Got it off of Amazon. I think it was like 70, 75 bucks or something like that. Not terribly expensive. And it seems to be very well made, very sturdy, a little difficult to put together. The instructions are horrible. But what it did was enable me, like I'm working on this back wheel here. I was going to show you guys that. This side I have sanded with 600 grit. 1,000 grit, 2,000 grit, then 3,000 grit, and it's ready to be buffed, but I haven't buffed it yet. And see what, before, when I do a little section that I have to get up and I have to move the motorcycle, roll it back to be able to get to a new section. Now see, I can just rotate it like that. It allows me to get in all those little nooks and crannies a lot easier, saves a lot of time and effort. Oh boy, does it. I'm telling you. But what I was going to show you guys, somebody was watching a few minutes ago. I guess they got bored and dropped out. Hell, I don't blame them. This is kind of boring stuff. Y'all have seen this motorcycle, but if I can get this thing set up here, let's see. But I've been using, this is the 600 grit sandpaper. That's my first step. You can wet it a little bit if you want, but these wheels are so bad, at least for this step, I find that it works a little bit better if it's best get it a little bit, maybe just a little damp, but not really wet. And I've got my sanding block here. It's just a sponge. It helps keep the pressure a little bit even when you're sanding something, because it'll keep it lots more even than just using your fingers. But sometimes in these little bitty places, like right here along the rim, I have to use my finger anyway, but that's all right. But, this is a kind of a tedious process. And I was going to show you, I had started somewhere, I can't even remember where it was now, just a little bit right in here. Maybe you can tell that's a little bit cleaner, but I was just getting started when my phone rang and I got distracted. But it's just this is all you're doing, and it just takes time. You have to keep going until you get it all clean, even, and kind of smooth. Depending on how shiny you want it to be when you get finished. Get up in there. Get the edge real good. No pun intended. But I don't know if y'all can see it in the camera. I can see it here in person. It's already improving dramatically. Now, if you have chrome wheels or painted wheels or wheels that have any kind of coating on there, you do not want to use this. You will sand it all off. But I don't think, if these ever had a coating on them, it's long gone now after all these years and abuse that this thing has taken. And they got enough weights on here. There's a set of weights right there. There's a clip-on weight over there. Holy cow. I'm not sure it needed all that, but hey, I'm no mechanic, so what do I know? So I'm using that. And then, I don't know if y'all can see that there's a little bit of a shine starting to come back now. Even with this 600. And even though it's dirty, I haven't even cleaned it off yet, but it's already making a dramatic improvement. Just doing that, and you take and wipe the residue off with any kind of old rag. This is just an old microfiber rag. It's been relegated to this kind of duty, engine bays, wheels, that sort of thing. And after I go all the way around, then I will go back around again and get this area here. And then I'll take my drill with a very strong drill brush and just clean up these areas like this and on the spokes, because they don't sand very well because it's such a pebbly surface. I'll see if I can get in here. I'll see if I can spiff this thing up a little bit and down in here. But see, that stuff doesn't move. But so it might be a little unwieldy trying to get all that. But I'll clean all this up pretty fair, you know. For a 1993, I think it'll look okay. But my next step up after the 600 will probably be 1,000. And then depending on how that looks, I'll either go to 1,500 or 2,000. And then a final step, I may zip around it real quick with that damp 3M 3000 grit foam sandpaper. Not the sheet, the foam. It's not as aggressive as the sheet, just to zip around it. Because the more you refine this sanding, the quicker, hey Jimmy, the quicker your polishing will go. You'll save pads, you'll save product, and it will just go quicker and look better. So I just wanted to catch y'all up right quick. I know you were just waiting with bated breath, Jimmy, to see how Mike's doing on his motorcycle. See these paddock stands, Jimmy? Man, those things, I wished I'd have got some of these a long time ago. See, I got front and back. Yeah, I'm laying on the floor. It's just more comfortable doing this. It doesn't get it off the ground very far, Jimmy, but just enough so that you can rotate the wheels. And you can take it off. You can do all kind of maintenance and do this kind of cleaning and stuff. So much easier, because before, like, I'd do a little section, then I'd have to move the motorcycle to get the next section down to the bottom. Now I just spin the wheel around. It's so much easier. And plus, hey, Miss Teresa and Jimmy, they also say that, like, when bikes sit for long periods of time, which a lot of bikes do, they tend to get flat spots on the tire, and this will prevent that. So we'll see. But anyway, they're handy. They're made by Venom. If you go back at the beginning of the video, I showed the box that they came in. They weren't real expensive. They're like $70, $75, something like that on Amazon. I watched it. They're a little hard to put together and figure out how to get them adjusted just right, because the instructions that came with it are terrible. They really don't tell you much of anything. But thank goodness for YouTube videos. A couple of YouTube videos, and I zipped them together and got it set up, and everything was just fine. But if I was depending on the manufacturer's instructions, I'd probably still be trying to figure it out. You gotta love YouTube, right, Teresa? Gotta love it, gotta love it. But anyway, just wanted to show y'all. See how this helps me out, Teresa? Now I can just do that instead of having to get up, move the motorcycle back and forth. And plus you can do maintenance on stuff a lot easier than what I could before. So anyway, I'm going to be working on this motorcycle a little while. I'll be sanding and sanding and sanding and sanding and sanding and then polishing. And then hopefully I can get this wheel, which seems a lot worse than the front one, to look like that wheel. That one turned out real good for a 1993 motorcycle that was not well maintained on appearances. But anyway, folks, I do appreciate y'all stopping by to see me. And I'll appreciate y'all all the time. It's always gratifying to know somebody's watching and somebody's listening. Somebody's paying at least some attention. And if you would, hit that thumbs up or the like button or whatever there is there. If you got any questions about what I'm doing, how I do it, when I wet sand this metal, when I don't wet sand it, I don't think wet sanding is as critical for stuff like this because you're not sanding paint. But if they were painted and clear coated, we would not be doing 600. I don't think. We would be using the higher grits and we would be doing nothing but wet sanding. Well, wet sanding makes such a mess. You see, I got a rag under the wheel. I was doing a little wet sanding on the other side with my 3000 grit, and it just drip, 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 drip. So I just put a rag in there to keep it water from just spreading all over the floor. But anyway, I appreciate you guys, and I will catch you up again later when I've made some substantial progress. Main thing I want to do is show off these things. I love them. I wish I'd have got some long time ago. All right, guys. Bye.